Yo, what's going on guys? It's your boy Mahdi Ahmed here with another video and welcome back to MahdLifting. Guys, I do apologize, this video was meant to go up on Monday, but I had a very busy schedule last week, so it's kind of hard for me to edit and upload the video. Hence it's going up today, which is Wednesday, which is a bit of an odd day, not like my usual schedule, but I hope you can forgive me for that. But without further ado guys, let's get into today's topics. So the clips you guys are seeing are going to be of my workouts from last week, just so you guys know what actually happened. I didn't record all my sessions. There was no real necessity to record my sessions, but there are 4 days here recorded, including my bench press, which was week 4, day 1 and day 2. But yeah guys, there are 2 topics I'm going to touch on today, which are my weaknesses and equipment that I use. So we'll start with the weaknesses. So as you guys saw earlier on at the start of this video, I was doing a few little stretches using a resistance band, which is one of the equipments I use. I'll go to that later on in the video. But a weakness of mine is definitely mobility. Now I'm not saying that my legs have a weak mobility, because according to my doctor I'm quite hypermobile, which means that I am naturally flexible in certain regions. But when it comes to my upper body, such as my lats and shoulders and arms even, I lack some mobility there, whereby that's a reason for why I suck at weightlifting, because I can't get into a front rack position because my lats are too tight, my wrists aren't flexible enough to, bend backwards on fingers or even palm, so it becomes quite difficult for me. So I mean, I can lift the weight, no problem. I can probably overhead press it if needed to, but I just can't get into that position. And because I can't get into that position, it makes me suffer when it comes to weightlifting, and why I'm behind in everyone else when training for weightlifting. So moving on to the second thing, which is my wrist strength. As I said just then, my wrist strength, when I was younger, I fractured my wrist, my left wrist, and it's never really been quite the same. And I do need to increase the mobility and strength in both my wrists, because when it comes to doing overhead presses, yeah, the weight moves, but it doesn't actually, feel great on my wrists. As in, I can feel a strain even with using wrist wraps, not the equipment that I use. I'll go into that further on later in the video. But when I do use wrist wraps, it's quite a struggle regardless, because I still feel the weight pushing down on my wrists and it really hurts. That could be down to mobility, it could be down to strength. I guess I'll have to figure that out as time goes on. And thirdly, I don't think I've mentioned this in one of my videos before, but I had a knee injury before. Actually, I think I might have in my second video on this channel. I had a knee injury where I actually tore my meniscus ligament. And by tearing my meniscus ligament, it put me out of squatting or in gym in general for about 6 months. Which during that period I put on quite a bit of weight actually, which was quite saddening. Lost a bit of gains, gained a few gains surprisingly when I got back to the gym. But yeah, so my knee's never been quite the same, and I've always been quite conscious of my knee. So it's very worrying for me, because I don't actually want to re-injure my knee and aggravate it further. I mean, it's better now. It's been about 1.5 years, I think, since my knee injury. About 1.5 years, maybe coming on 2 years actually. I think it's about 2 years, to be honest. But I'm always conscious about it. Mentally, I'm not fully great, which is why when I squat, I feel in my head that my knee's hurting when it's actually not. And I probably could push the weight and go down in depth a lot more than I do, because I usually just tend to break parallel, just because one, I'm used to that for powerlifting, just that's all you need to do. But at the same time, I feel that's the maximum amount of depth I can go, which is actually not the case, to be honest. I probably could go lower. I just choose not to, out of mentality, because of my injury, and I don't want to re-injure myself. So mentality has a big part to play in the gym, and if you guys aren't in the right state of mind, it's gonna put you off. Now, obviously injuries are gonna happen, but there are obviously loads of steps you can take to trying to avoid the injury, such as mobility and stretching. One of the key things definitely to avoid injury. If you don't stretch, you're going to have tight muscles tight muscles, likely to be injured. Looser muscles, in terms of when I use the word loose, I mean more flexible, more mobile, you're less likely to injure the muscle because the muscles are warmed up, they're stretched out, they're ready to perform in the workout. So, you know, that is definitely one of the main things you can do to prevent injury. But then again, it's also to do with your own mindset. You need to be able to be confident enough and believe in yourself and sort of not disregard injury completely, be safe in your workouts, but just overcome that fear and just work on building that confidence up and that strength up, so that you don't have to worry as much about injury, because you know that you're doing the right steps to try and avoid it. So I'm going to move on to now the equipment that I use whilst in the gym. So I'll start with the first things that I don't really use anymore, which is my deadlift shoes. Now, in my old videos, you might see me wear these kind of shoes which look like slippers. If you guys want me to do a review on those, I can do. It'll probably be quite a short video nonetheless, but it might be quite fun to do, just because they look hideous, and I've been told they look hideous. Yeah, I mean, everyone used to laugh at those, but I mean, they did the job. They were flexible and stuff like that. So, and they were very, you know, thin, low to the ground, just what you need from a pair of deadlift shoes. So I don't really use those anymore, just because I don't really like to carry around unnecessary stuff, and I don't want to have to carry around 2 pairs of shoes. So I tend to just deadlift now in my socks, which is perfectly fine. I don't own a pair of deadlift socks. I feel as though any pair of socks do it fine, just as long as it's got a slight bit of grip at the bottom, just to avoid its slippage or anything else. But that's that. Definitely use chalk. I don't think I know a powerlifter or weightlifter that doesn't use chalk. If you're a bodybuilder, I don't really see you guys using chalk either, to be honest, but you guys might not need it because you just need the definition, I guess. But anyways, chalk is an essential piece of equipment that I use. It's not really equipment, more like an assistance thing. You could say it's equipment. But yeah, so I also use knee wraps. As you saw earlier on in the video, I was putting on my knee wraps. I have a pair of knee sleeves which I don't use often. I only use that really when I'm doing weightlifting, which is on Wednesdays at university, which I'm slacking at, to be quite honest. And I need to really get my act together when it comes to weightlifting, because the weight I'm lifting there is absolutely appalling. But yeah, I use knee wraps. I have a foam roller. I don't take it with me to the gym, simply because it's big and I don't have space in my bag, and like I said, I don't like to carry around unnecessary things. So I just usually use it at home, roll around, you know, get those knots out here in places that are quite tight. I do use wrist wraps, as I previously said in the video, which do me well for benching, but not so great for overhead pressing. I think when weight pushes down on my wrists, I can really feel it, and it's quite painful. I also use weightlifting shoes. So I use the Strength Shop weightlifting shoes. I don't remember what they're called exactly, but they are quite, I think they're the thickest in the heel that they have on their website. So they're the black and white ones. I also use my lever belt. My lever belt I have used for ages, and it's lasted me so long, and it's been one of the best pieces of equipment I've invested in. Also Strength Shop brand. But yeah, I mean, guys, that weightlifting belt has been through with me through both the ups and downs, the PRs and failures, and it's just a great piece of equipment, especially for powerlifting. I don't recommend you use it for weightlifting just because of the lever. You're probably better off getting a buckle belt instead. But yeah, that's about it, guys. That's pretty much all the equipment I use. Oh yeah, I also use the resistance band. So that's, as you saw earlier in the video, there was me using a resistance band to stretch out for my legs. I do another resistance band, which is like more for upper body stretching and stuff like that, which I'm getting more into using. But that pretty much rounds up my equipment, and I guess I'll round up today's video. So the workouts from last week, were really good. Benching is getting harder now as the weight's progressing. But yeah guys, that rounds up today's video. If you did like it, please drop a like, comment and subscribe for future content. Stay tuned to my channel. Next week there's big news. I'm starting something new. But yeah, I will see you Monday 12 PM as usual. Peace out guys.